They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flows chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, another Zah back at you. Ya tu sabes or ya sabes or whatever, you know. Shout out to Camarada, shout out to Denver. Shout out to all the homies representing that really be putting it down for my channel, because there's a lot of you out there that be really putting it down for my channel, really spreading the word, even though I'm just like I said, just basically a black troll that got too much time on his hand and just really trying to get on this internet and make a name for himself, mostly to push a brand, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I mean, reputation really don't mean nothing. Only thing that should matter is you're solid. That's it. And that's all that should matter. And that's basically what I want to talk about today. And the fact that I constantly tell people to beware of this internet shit and exposing too much about yourself. And prime example, like I always say, for pesetas that come to the channel and want to run their mouth and drop their locations, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Some fools have got for that, you know what I mean? And it's like, and that's why I tend to like not even really block fools, like unless they just get too detailed, because at the end of the day I really don't want to know nothing about you, because like I said, some cats have been getting got, and it's just, you know, people could take it how they want it. You know, some people have just, you know, try to start rumors and say like I'm basically like screening these fools and you know, basically shepherding these fools off to the slaughterhouse, but it's nothing like that. You know what I mean? And I just want to put that out there in the ether real quick, because I've already seen how shit is going. But I always tell people, when you come on this channel, if you ain't really with that smoke or you ain't no good, don't get on here and start shit with people, because at the end of the day, people find people, and it's summer and it's hot, and motherfuckers is exacting vengeance on motherfuckers, and it's just the way it is. I tell people about putting their shit out there on the internet. For prime example, besides the fact that there's been 6 funerals, I say in the last 2 weeks, haven't went to not one of them. I don't never tell all my family exactly what's going on, just due to the fact that it's really not their business. I refrain from going to certain funerals because it involves you in certain shit that you don't need to be involved in. For the most part, everybody knows back in the days, the Hudas used to take pictures of people at the funeral, and so I refrain from going to these certain places. One funeral in particular, which is a family member, you know what I mean? Basically like they were a family. I couldn't go to that for certain reasons, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. But you know, in other cases I refrain from doing it. But like I said, the whole video was basically to tell motherfuckers to continuously watch out who they deal with. See, there's a lot of cats, real shit, that get at me on IG, that act like they're friends and try to do, and then come to find out, most of the time these cats ain't no fucking good. It's like, but I'm one of those people that kind of figure out people quick. I fish a lot, you know what I mean? So I pull it up out of motherfucker, and then, you know, but the most part, like I said, is just when bots go on the internet and they basically be putting out their location and all that. Understand, people do get got, and I seriously warn you against that. If you're no good and you're trying to live a good life, just live a good life and stay incognito. Coming on Zah's channel, there's a lot of people that be watching these channels, and you get to saying your name and what bottom you from, and you basically that you're a peseta and you're just going against grain. Understand, people watch this channel, and I can't be responsible for anything that happened to you. Like, I'm not here to safeguard you. I just warn you just to be careful. And with anything, it's like warning a little kid. Don't put your name out there, don't drop addresses, don't do none of that. So I'm basically gonna tell you, fucking pesetas, don't drop your address, because at the end of the day, some people take that serious. And I mean, if you, the news is a motherfucker. Motherfuckers have been getting got. Summer's hot. People exacting their vengeance on people that may have did a little bit too much of this or just did this, period. See, this new age, a lot of cats ain't with this, and with this. They just do this. You know what I'm saying? So on my last video, like I said, it wasn't no shot at anybody. It was just basically, you know, sometimes, regardless of who we are, sometimes we all need glesha. Like I said, I get glesha all the time, and I absorb it. I'm not at that age to where I'm too old to understand. When I even got younger homies that be like, hey, OG, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think about it, I'm like, damn, that's right. See, we all make mistakes, and that's the whole thing behind it. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we need that little boost And people should understand that constructive criticism is a thing that can help you, not something that's going to derail you from exactly. I got off parole and stayed off parole. Why? It wasn't anything about being scared of prison or anything like that. I've seen it and done it all, and it didn't matter. To me, streets were more just as bloody as it was in prison. The only difference, there was no guns, but you got knives and razors, and that's nothing to slice a motherfucker up when you got to get your point across. So with that being said, the whole thing I'm telling fools like to watch what you see on the internet outside of the pesetas that have been getting caught slipping, because they've been getting caught slipping, and that's what happens when you put out a little bit too much information. Another thing is, like I said, I always trust everybody that get at me, and that's in a prime example. There's 6 dudes right now, 6 or 5, I think 5. These motherfuckers are all getting federal cases, all about to get indicted over one particular individual, and I can't really get into their case because it might harm them or possibly bring me into some shit that I, had nothing to do with. You know what I mean? It's like, when it comes to the feds, they don't like you fucking with their snitches, so I'm not gonna put this dude out there like that. I'm just gonna say I already knew what was up this dude, and I avoided him. And these motherfuckers didn't want to listen when I told them, look, dude, this dude is shady, and shit happens. Sometimes you don't gotta believe everything a motherfucker say, but sometimes you just need to pay attention, even if it's just for a moment, for you to momentarily slide back and just observe how Vatos act. Vatos disappear for a long time and then all of a sudden pop back up. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are used to getting, come on, you know about the dope game. Just plain and simple. A motherfucker come for a certain amount, then all of a sudden you don't hear from this motherfucker for about a year. He come back and now motherfucker want 5, 6, 7, 8 bricks, something that he's never did before. That should be warning flags right there. That should be something that, and it's no shot at the homies, but it's shit like that. Like individuals like that, you should refrain from doing anything in front of. You shouldn't be telling them about dirt, but these fools were so reckless at it that they basically were telling motherfuckers everything they did. I'm talking about from dope to everything, you know what I mean? And now these motherfuckers are sitting about to get federal cases. I mean, not even sitting about to get, these motherfuckers are about to get long sentences, you know what I mean? And if they depending on what this fool said and what he says, like it's just, and that's why I say, man, don't always trust motherfuckers. Like there's some cats that just be out here just acting like they really with that smoke and really about their life, and they're not. Dude, 6ix9ine proved that off the back. So when people come on here and they be telling me about my last 2 videos, understand, like I said, it was no shot at nobody. It's just the way I was taught and brought up. You know what I'm saying? To understand that there's certain things that you just don't say. And I'm not here to defend nobody. I'm just saying, me personally as Blackie, I'm not finna get on here and say certain things because it's not in me. You know what I mean? It's something taught from a young age. It's like my tia kind of said a long time ago, like my dad raised me to be a bully, but I didn't turn out a bully. I hated people that bully people, and I go out of my way to fight them in order to prove a point that I hate bullies. So understand, when I was young, I was taught a certain way. Like I said, I grew up in between San Fernando and Pacoima and in Sun Valley, but the most of the time I grew up like solidly was in between San Fernando and Pacoima. And the way you see the homies move back then, like I said, that's why I chose to get in, because the way they move, like regardless of fools that be on the internet saying that we're allowed to snitch, that shit is bullshit. And anybody that has really did time with us know what time it is. So that's why I shifted to that side, because it was just solidarity. No matter all the grimy shit that going in prison, but on the street, there's some real solidarity amongst the homies. And I've been in situations to where I'm outnumbered and about to get packed out by, certain fools because what I represent. And I got homies that's not even from my bottom. Like one particular I get into in Panama City, I'm outnumbered. I'm like, cool, they stupid, they let me go. I went right to fucking Blight Street. Like, and our neighborhoods are kind of like whatever, but that's a whole different bottom block. Go to Blight Street and get that food like, hey homie, blah blah. Once they figured out, okay, this food's up, we push right back to the spot. And that's not gonna put out any particular situation as far as details, but like that, I've always been able to do that. Like homies have got my back, so that's why I chose to shift that way. So understand, that's why I learned. And I learned not to say certain things and act a certain way, and I learned to do this, and this, and keep it that way regardless. no matter how hard the situation has got, no matter how much opposition I've been up against. And I've been in situations to where it's like near death. I'm outnumbered and I'm up my back against the wall, and it's just that pigheadedness, that need to always hold that pride about myself that allow me to continue on and not break down like some fools. And in most cases, there's a lot of fools that you apply a little pressure and they break and they shatter, and them are the fools you hear on the PCR Celta with fucking chirujos and I ain't got nothing against gay fools, but Celta with chirujos, Celta with child molesters, rapists are the ones that you hear getting their butt taken on the yard, you know what I mean, on one of those yards, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of cats that can't handle that pressure. And regardless of what anybody say about me, I handled that pressure. Like, if you go over a decade flat, I don't give a fuck where you at, as long as you're in a PC yard. If you can go over a decade flat handling your business, then I give you that. People can't say nothing about me. So as far as like that shit, being afraid of another homie that, cause he's been up being dead, so what? I've been around motherfuckers that did more than that, but it's no need for me to really trip on it. And that's not really responding to the trolls. It's just me putting out there. At the end of the day, regardless of what you see and what I say, understand that I'm still with that business when it comes to that. So yeah, understand that you can't just push up me on the street and I'm gonna be like whatever. Like, I'm really with that smoke if you really want to get that. Like, regardless, keep it positive. Know basically who you deal with. Understand if you get a weird vibe about motherfuckers, you ain't got to just shake a motherfucker, but sit back and really observe his game, because in a lot of cases you're gonna be dead on and right. A lot of people put their faith in me at one time because they figured, oh, this fool is solid, and I made sure that I never disappointed them regardless of what type of loss we took. I made sure that I stayed solid, you know what I mean? So basically, like I said, this video is basically to let you know that shit has been happening on these streets. The shit in Long Beach, like I said, I have really no right to speak about it, but that it's summer, hell is hot, and it's about to get a lot hotter on them streets. And hopefully motherfuckers maintain and weather this storm, and hopefully it just don't bleed into other cities, because I mean, LA done seen its vast share of motherfuckers getting murked and put in on t-shirts, and that's how I see it. You know, ops belong on t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm just bullshitting. But yeah, just keep it positive. Anyways, I got an interview coming up. Hopefully this dude he had like 7 to life or something. He ended up doing like, I think like 30 something years, and he can tell you exactly how everything was in the pen then, and what the real shit is. Not these fools that be lying, just the real shit. And I got another cat that did like almost 20 years. Like, I'm really trying to put it together for you guys so you don't have to just see this ugly mug all the time, ¿sabes? But to the camaradas and to the fools that are really solid, regardless of what your affiliation is, I respect you and salute you. And hopefully we can get this positive shit going and push in a different way. Because doing this all the time, that shit only ends you up in one place, and that's shackle, ¿sabes? And on that note, I'm your boy Zach.
I hop on the beat and you know I'ma kill it. My nigga lose schools, you know that they drilling. I run on my money.
Kneel before Zod!